Let's get physical. It's Jordan here, back again with this week's update and all the physical releases coming to the Switch. We're in the third week of November, the 14th until the 18th. SiFu is one that I missed last week. I'm not really sure why. I knew it was coming, I just forgot to write it down. It happens, and nobody was angry this time. You're all getting into festive period. Or you just don't give a shit about this. I don't know, I heard it's a good game if you like hard as nails combat. It came out on other consoles not too long ago. Well, maybe time moves in very different ways when you get past the age of 30. 1 year feels like a weekend. And I don't really know how to say this game because my Chinese is really interfering with my brain. I want to say Shifu, which means master, often in a kung fu mentor sense, Shifu, right? But Sifu doesn't say Shifu unless you're a toddler. I'm just confused. Somebody tell me how to say this and why it is said that way. I need closure. And our executive producers Robotech, God of Resin, and Viz have chosen this as their pick of the week. And of course, if you want any of the games shown here today and you want to support the channel, check the links in the description. VGP are a great company for those in North America with good prices, shipping, and selection of games. And every week, anyone who purchases something using our links also gets thrown into a draw to win a $10 discount on their next order. And this week's winner is Daniel C. Foretales is releasing this week. Pretty much every man's dream. I mean, 4 might be a bit overboard, but just imagine what mischief you could get up to with 4 penises. This is a cheap release, like 20 quid, but they lost me with the card-based narrative journey. Are card games just easy to make, or are game designers just a bunch of nerds? I don't really know. Apparently, it offers a unique take on the adventure genre with a multitude of playstyles and story paths through which you can save the world. Smurfs Kart is the kart racing game we've all been waiting for. Why have variety when you can have an entire cast of blue characters? The least multicultural society in history going toe to toe to see who is the fastest. The Smurfs are Belgian, which means microids need to get their hands on it, which also means that it might actually not release this week just when they feel like it. Will the truck driver eat that dodgy sausage roll on the M5? We will have to see. Pokemon Violet and Pokemon Scarlet is a release I'm surprisingly excited for. You may remember back when the last Pokemon game came out, I was a bit dour on the thing. My miserable northern miser came out to say I was Pokemon'd out. But since I introduced my daughter to the series, I'm all the way back in. We completed Let's Go, which she loved, and after that we completed Shining Pearl, which is just absolutely packed with content, and we're still trying to complete our Pokédex. Pokemon has taken over my daughter's life, and I'm going to be getting this for her for Christmas, at least Violet. I'm a bit worried that this might be a bit too difficult for her because Shining Pearl was a huge step up from Let's Go, which, by the way, middle-aged men, say it all you want, that is a great game for kids. A marvelous way to introduce the franchise to a newer, very young audience. They made it perfect for small children. I can't wait till she grows up and becomes a proper Pokemon fan, by which I mean an elite no-life complainer who thinks the world revolves around them. These 2 separate games can be bought together in a bundle. And our executive producers JCross7776, Parsnip Coffee, Cartoon Soren Isa, and Jennifer M have chosen this as their pick of the week. Let's Sing 2023 looks to be releasing this week in Europe. Not sure about America. Unless it's country music, you're not that big on karaoke it seems. Anyways, there are various bundles, of which include like a cheap Poundland microphone if you don't have enough accessories in your accessory drawer. Jigsaw Fun 3-in-1 collection is fun for all the family. I guess it's better than a mountain of real jigsaw puzzles in the house. They take up space. Doctor Who, The Edge of Reality, and The Lonely Assassins is a double pack of Doctor Who games. Can you believe it? Both of them are supposed to be a little bit bobbins, especially the first one. The second one is better. It's an interesting interactive visual novel type thing, but nothing that's going to blow your mind so much you have to regenerate. I'm actually surprised that this is also getting an American release. Who knew Americans were into quaint British TV? Personally, as a kid, I was more of a Stargate fan. I was laughing at that idiot with his little screwdriver. Where's his P90 to just disintegrate the Daleks? That'd work. And our executive producer, Elissa, has chosen this as her pick of the week. My Fantastic Ranch is sadly nothing about ranch dressing. It's this week's horse riding nonsense. Parents, your 8-year-old daughter may think she wants a horse riding game, but really, you know her best. Get a Galgun double piece. You know it's the right thing to do. Or maybe don't, otherwise social services may be knocking on your door the day afterwards. What can I say about this? if the other ones looked bad, at least they didn't look like a mobile game, which I'm pretty sure this is, or it should be. Heidelberg 1693 should be releasing this week. Now, I know this is a low print release from Red Art Games, but I want to bring it up because tomorrow, I have a video about this. Yeah, Red Art Games, they were happy with the soft star video that I made. You should watch that, by the way. And they wanted to make like one for Heidelberg as well. So I made one, and I hope you can watch it. It is a pretty good game. If you like Castlevania, the old school style, and Super Ghouls and Ghosts, you'll like Heidelberg 1693. Okay, so please be there tomorrow. Help me out. Come on, help a boy out. All right, the low prints. Chained Echoes is First Press Games' latest pre-order. Their first in like half a year, maybe even longer. Look, Chained Echoes looks frigging amazing. A 16-bit RPG which someone put their entire soul into. But, there's a big but, and it ain't your mama. First Press Games, you have to be very, very careful because they're a company who are starting to look a little bit rickety when it comes to, providing what you're paying for. They are a company who have always been slow. I mean, they make Strictly Limited look like Amazon same-day delivery, but they've gotten to the point where people are wondering where their money is going. It's clear they're a company struggling for cash, not being able to fulfill orders to people who've been waiting literal years for, especially when it comes to collector's editions. I mean, Mulaka, the Super Edition, that's been almost 3 years since they took pre-orders, and it's still not materialized. They're also blocking people on Twitter, deleting replies, not replying to people's requests for a refund. Be careful with your money. My best advice is waiting for the game to be in stock. But if you have to pre-order, only get the standard edition. Don't go for the collector's editions, as nice as they look, because I'm more confident you'll actually just get the standard edition. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing with that money. And our executive producer, Dane Wilkinson, has chosen this as his pick of the week. Cardboard Kings is one of 2 special reserve games going up for pre-order this week. Cardboard Kings is where you take control of a collectible card shop, but thankfully there is no deck building. At least I don't think there is. It's basically a shop management game, but has some really awesomely drawn cards that are kind of like the currency. I heard the story part is really short, but the game has a lot of content afterwards. The early credits confused a lot of people on Steam, but hey, it looks cool, rather unique game. Relic Hunters Zero Remix is their second release. It's also worth noting that these 2 games are not from Devolver Digital. It seems they're finally branching out. This is a frenetic roguelike 2D twin-stick shooter with bold, colourful graphics. Interestingly, this game is free on Steam. Not sure why they are charging for it on the Switch digital version. Maybe they added something, I don't know, but you can check it out on PC first before you lay down the big cash for Special Reserves version. Neo Geo Pocket Color Volume 2 is Pix and Love's latest release. Just like the last one, this is getting a retail release in Europe, but Pix and Love have their own collector's edition as such. This package contains 10 more lovely Neo Geo Pocket Color games, even like a Mega Man game, as well as some obscure Japanese exclusive ones. It does seem a bit weaker than the last one, but hopefully it means more room for a final Volume 3, which maybe they can include the Sonic game and the RPG, I forgot the name of, Fasalai or something. Anyways, you can order this now. Or, if you're in North America, Limited Run Games have their version of it. It's exactly the same cover this time, there were no boobies to cover up. Maybe Limited Run asked them not to include cleavage from the off just so that they didn't have to embarrassingly cover them up. Anyways, Limited Run have a slightly different collector's edition, which I have to give props is slightly better than Pix and Loves, who bumped up the price of theirs too much compared to Volume 1, and you don't really get that many things in it. Not sure what's happening there. And our executive producer, Thorn Metal Luna, has chosen this as his pick of the week. Arcade Classics Collection is Limited Run's next release this week, yet another Konami collection. This one I'm not too annoyed about because of the 3 collections Konami had, this is the one that actually fits Limited Run. Castlevania, Contra, they could stand on retail shelves no problem. They're classics, would sell. This one is a tougher sell to the general audience because it's just a bunch of random Konami arcade games. Some good, some decent, some thrown in because what else could they do with them? It even includes the arcade version of Castlevania, which amazed the world with its complete, utter rubbishness. Also, if you're a Steam bot collector, rest in peace because you're being forced to buy the $160 version. Love it when they do that. And our executive producer Instacritic chosen this as his pick of the week. Skatebird is Limited Run's third and final release this week. Another distribution title of theirs, probably one they signed in advance of actually playing it because Skatebird is rubbish, especially on the Switch. With bad controls, bad visuals, and seemingly made by people who don't really know how to design a skate park, it's also a technical disaster on the system. Stay away from Skatebird. Alright, the imports. We're heading into Play Asia territory. Yeah, if you want to import any game shown here, then please consider using our Play Asia links below. Play Asia is the #1 way to support us. They're a great company who've supported SwitchWatch throughout these years, and we wouldn't exist without them. So yeah, please, if you want to import something, click the links in the description. And of course, we can also support you a little bit with our discount code SWTV5. Just rolls off the tongue. Yeah, you can get 5% off any physical item from Play Asia with that code. This week, it's a pretty good week. Cardfight Vanguard Dear Days is probably the big one this week if you're into collectible card games. This is a high production card battler based off an anime. I can't say I have any experience with this, but the trailer makes it look pretty cool. I'm just eternally shocked this Japanese release has English. The last one didn't, so I'm wondering why they went the extra effort this time around. Are you picking this up? I kind of want to try it even though I hate deck building. And our executive producer, our man in Japan, Vei, has chosen this as his pick of the week. Miracle Snack Shop released last week from Play Asia, slightly ahead of schedule. Yeah, this technically could be a low print game and an import together, but whatever. This is a visual novel mashup including elements of a simple management game as a snack shop owner. 2 otherworldly ladies invade your world and get a taste for your products. It's a decent effort and nice to see it get an English physical release. Please check out the review on VN Paradise. Return to Shironagasu Island is another visual novel this week. This one is a detective mystery VN where you return to the eponymous island. Expect some kind of messed up stuff heading into the bizarre yet equally fascinating. This is a highly recommended VN. It also has an interesting style that separates it from the usual Japanese anime stuff. Even better news is that the Japanese physical import comes with English and is super cheap. Yeah, less than 20 bucks, not even taking into account our discount code. We will have a review over on VN Paradise in the near future, maybe in a couple of weeks. Depends if we can get an early review code or not. Maybe we have to wait to buy it ourselves, but we'll see. VN fans, you're going to want to get this one probably. And also Japan has some other games this week. Here they are. One of them at the bottom does have English, but you know, we already have that in the West anyway. The other 2 do not. Alright, before we get into the community spotlight, I've got something to show off first. Finally, I got my hands on Kamiwaza, the collector's edition. It's taken an age to get here due to DHL being absolute knobs in China, but finally, it's here, and I have to say, I'm surprised how small it is, which is great because who's got the room for giant oversized collector's editions? This is available on NIS America's web store. I got this from the European one, obviously, and I'm really impressed. The box is absolutely solid. Not only is it a nice collector's edition, but you can also beat home intruders to death with it as well. It's multifunctional. I've been excited about this game ever since I found out its existence. It's an obscure PS2 game that never released outside of Japan until this Switch remaster. Thank you, NIS America. You are a thief and comically have to steal everything as much as possible. God, I can't wait to get stuck into this. This is back when games were good, when developers took risks, made something unique. It's not a twin-stick roguelike or a farming sim, ain't no coziness in sight. Inside this compact bad boy, you get a soundtrack CD with 26 songs on it. Yeah, I can't wait to blast that on my computer in the near future. You also get a huge cloth, a traditional furoshiki, which when I saw the label of the contents, I laughed when I saw the box mistakenly say 36 inch by 36 inch, but no, it's really 36 inches. That's big. You also get some art cards and a very nice enamel pin. And of course the game. We all know the PS2 was the best era in gaming. I know it, you know it, games were interesting. This game was made by Acquire, who are best known for the Way of the Samurai series, and this is a spin-off of that. They're also known for Octopath Traveler. So yeah, there is a standard version available at retail, or this really nice compact collector's edition that's all shiny. I love it. As I said, it's available on NIS's web store. Alright, on to you lot. Choco Loco James got in the Japanese collector's edition of Bayo 3. Not sure if this is different from the Western one. Maybe it's the same. Answers on a postcard, please. Sojan Nedos, sorry if I said your name wrong, sent in this picture showing off these games. That's a very nice cover for Hollow Knight. Is that a reversible one? I'm not sure. The One sent in this photo of a few big recent games, especially Sonic from last week. Man, the reviews for that have been all over the place. I don't know what's going on. Seems like one I would have to try myself before saying if it's good or bad. Mickey McFlynn sent in this photo showing off the lovely Tactics Ogre. Man, I am aching to play it. There's an itching in my bones. And also, the European exclusive of Eterna Noctis. I know it has like the horrible USK logo, but there is a reversible cover inside to get rid of it. Executive producer God of Resin sent in this photo showing the long-awaited double pack of the Kogan and Luminous Avenger games. For some reason, that cardboard sleeve added months onto the delivery time. William Hutchins sent in this photo. Love the RPG time cover. Also, Ikai. It might not be the best game ever, but I'm fond of that cover art. It's like a movie poster from way back in the day. Executive producer Instacritic sent in this photo, yet more Bayonetta goodness, alongside an absolute slew of games. Nice to see that Slime Rancher is actually a thing, mentioned it so many times. Theo is another one to get in a double pack, but also showing off the individual releases, both with the crisp, clear artwork. Gotta give credit where credit's due. World Funeral, thanks a lot for using our links to buy all of these games. That's really the best way of supporting us, you absolute legend. You can see the massive box of Little Witch Nabetta. Glorious. Jim, thanks for using our links to pick up Monster Rancher. Very much appreciated. This one did alright. We saw like 15 copies of it, which is decent for something weird and niche like this. Garazilla picked up these games. 2 Switch OLEDs. I'm assuming one is for me. Yeah? Yeah? Pab sent in this photo showing off Martian Panic with the slightly ridiculous accessory. I'm sure young kids will enjoy it. Interesting that the controller doesn't actually come with the game, have to buy it separately. Executive producer Vei, our man in Japan, showed off these games. You can see that in Japan, Sonic got different artwork, slightly more menacing or ominous. I like it. As you can see, he was also a legend in getting the collector's edition of Kamiwaza. And also look at that delicious Bad Boy Tactics Ogre collector's edition in Japan. God! Sadly, I don't think PlayAsia has any stock of this, but damn boy. Starvey sent in this picture showing that in fact Ooblets also arrived. I was slightly worried about this one. Yeah, they also got in another recent game, Hidden Through Time. I think that's a game I'd probably enjoy. Nintendo Gamer Gal sent in this picture showing off the limited edition of the second Pure Fury game. A very classy time if you're into Otome. Go check out the review on VN Paradise. Executive producer Elissa sent in this photo showing off a double helping of 2 games. I've heard both are fairly comparable to the PS4 counterparts. Immortals doesn't look that great, but it plays just as nicely. Psych Villain, thanks for the donation. Here is the Loop Hero you mentioned. I have not personally played it, but I have heard it's highly addictive. Devolver know a good game when they see one. Executive producer Cartoon Soren sent in this photo showing off a lot of super rare alongside Grim Fandango, which I'm sure I read was going to get a retail release at some point. I don't know, there's so many Switch games, my memory fades so quickly now. Alright, let's have a roundup. Crit Cat, McLaren, Vast Neon, Rovest, Marty Ma, Lil Raven, Remy X, Xiao Pichu, Bora Murian, Bunny Bear, Golbat Lover, Judge Sewell, Tech Zone. Alright, please send me your pictures either on Twitter at SoWhatAboutGame. You can DM me or you can try to tag me in a post if you want to. That's risky though. And you can also send it to our email address, switchwatchspotlight@gmail.com. And our Discord, the server link is below. It should be in the description. Sometimes I forget to put it, but it is there, and you can put it in the submissions section once I open it up. I close it on Saturday, and I open it up on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, or when somebody reminds me to do it. Please just send me one picture per week. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Let's Get Physical. Dean Wilkinson, yes, thank you. God of Risen, thank you. Boombox, thank you. Brent McLean, thank you. Jonathan Rumor, thank you. Santa Tartaruga, thank you. Alexander Cato, thank you. JCross7776, thank you, thank you, thank you. Elissa, thank you. Punky Doosa, thank you. Cartoon Siren, thank you. Robotech, thank you. Z, thank you. Raven Nice, thank you. Thorn, Metal Luna, thank you. Parsnip Coffee, thanks. Isa, thank you. Our man in Japan, Vey, thank you. Mental Traveler, thanks. Granted, thank you. Viz, thank you. Jennifer M, thank you very much. Instacritic, thank you. Precision Plague, thank you. Kadacha, thank you. And Ozgolo, thank you. Our executive producers. Plus you. Yeah, you're watching right now. If you watched all the way through, you're a legend. And if you did, please leave me a card emoji, like a playing card emoji. There must be one somewhere because I just saw Cardboard Kings, okay? Send me a card emoji and I know who you are. Tomorrow, please, just please watch the Heidelberg video, okay? It's like 8 minutes long, okay? You don't need to really pay attention, okay? But it is, I made it funny. I tried to make it funny a little bit. And yeah, what else we got? Oh yeah, a bit more Jordan for a lot more me, my new channel with big retrospectives. VN Paradise, a lot of VN stuff over there. And of course, we have other stuff I'm sure we do, right? Bye.